Can I, just before we start, I'm not even on either, red for go. Can everybody just leave their microphones on? Because last week I had a failure of or last month of this one, and then there was no sound at all. But when I think you, George, you put yours on, I could be heard. That's lovely. We ran out of batteries. That's lovely. Sorry, let's go back to that then. Declarations of interest.
Replaced?
Batteries have been replaced. I can hear myself now. Yes, sorry, George, carry on.
Yes, 268, playing field, I declare an interest. And it's not on here, but it was a late planning thing. It come in if it's discussed or anything. It's not on this at all?
No.
That's fine?
No.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yep.
268, 269. My house is very close to Black Horse Field and the playing field, so I might have to declare a personal interest, I don't know.
Okay. Minutes from the last meeting, has everybody read them?
Yes, Chair, there's just one or two things on that. On 249, I had accepted the vote had been taken, and you got there on 30th of March, and you've written in was valid. I still don't. Sorry. I can't hear you. Sorry. It's on. It was you got here on the vote. I've accepted the vote was taken, and you got here on the 30th of March was valid. As far as I'm concerned, it was not valid, but I accept it was taken and done. So,
sorry, George, because I think it has been reworded, hasn't it? Have you got the old one?
I have got one that says taken place on 13th of March was valid.
No, it's been reworded. It was sent out again, so I'll just read it out to you. Councillor Hayward said he wanted to raise some items as he'd been absent on the 27th of June. Just follow me to make sure we're on the same one here. It's probably easier.
Right, well, I haven't got.
Have you got them there, George?
I've got these minutes. I haven't got the new ones.
Right. If I read it out and make sure we've got different ones there. Councillor Hayward said he wanted to raise some items as he had been absent on the 27th of June. He reiterated that he had said what he had said at the meeting held on the 13th of March, 10th of April, and 8th of May regarding being disrespected and excluded over the initial playing field discussions. After seeking advice, he stated he now accepted the vote that had taken place on the 13th of March was valid.
It was valid, I object to. I personally didn't think it was valid, but I accepted it taken.
That's right.
And stands.
So that was reworded so that I saw your reasoning on the original minutes.
But you've got the word valid in there now.
No.
I don't accept it. On the new minutes, you haven't got it, have you?
No, we've said that you, on the last meeting, that you now accepted the vote.
Had been taken, placed on 30th of March, full stop, as far as I'm concerned. But you've got the word was valid.
No, that's been taken out.
Thank you.
That's been taken out.
Thank you. Apologise.
Yeah, no,
then I may have got this one wrong. Right.
Tell me which one.
255.
255.
Public consultation.
Yeah.
You've got the.
It's not me personally, but carry on.
Councillor Stavely Brown confirmed the content of the consultation and process would need to be worked through properly by the working group, and all suggestions will be considered. I presume that the final wording will be decided by the whole parish council.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, it's not in here. That's all.
No, 100%. It will come back to this parish council and it will be voted on.
That's fine. That's fine.
And I will explain all that later.
Right.
No
okay.
problem.
257 members report. My members report. Village scene. Signed minutes haven't been sent to the VC village scene. The chair clarified that BBPC didn't agree to send them as approved on the minutes. Well, that's not correct, because on the minutes of 10th of April, part 196, states on that meeting minutes signed off that and proposed the signed off minutes should be supplied to the village scene, and Councillor Hooper pointed out that this was the clerk's suggestion several months ago. A proposal was tabled to send approved minutes once they are signed off, which was unanimously agreed. That was on minutes of 10th of April, number 196. So what we...
I agree with that statement. It's all right. Well,
Signed. I'm going to email sign
I just said I agree with what George said there.
Yeah.
In black and white as well.
Right.
Now on that, so we discussed it, that it would be a month late, which we knew, but the signed off agreed minutes would be sent to the village scene for circulation on the village scene.
I think that's what I said was going to happen.
Well, it hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened yet.
Because since then, somebody has come forward. Would you like to say something?
Well, no, I thought the idea was it was coming off the website. I mean, what is the difference between detaching from an email and taking it off a website?
Because
It's exactly the same
because
process.
the clerk was supposed to send it. It was agreed it was sent. We sent to the village scene.
Right, okay,
Can I-
so, all right, so since then, George, is it on the agenda? It is. I'll come back to that in a minute then, but
It was
that's what was discussed though, wasn't it, the last time?
sorry, yeah,
That was-
on the 10th of April,
Yeah.
number 196. It was unanimously signed off that it would be sent.
Yeah, I know, but we're talking about this last minutes now.
Well, I'm saying the minutes,
Yeah.
the signed off agreed minutes, has not been sent to the village scene.
Yeah, no, but can I stop you there?
Yep.
Because we're talking about something that is actually on the agenda, and we're just going ahead of ourselves a little bit here.
Well, it's on these minutes
Because
now.
that's
You're
what-
going to sign them off.
Yeah, but that's what was discussed in the last. Yes, sorry.
Can I just raise a point of order that you shouldn't be debating previous minutes?
No.
I'm sorry.
You shouldn't be debating previous minutes. If you
I'm
need to
sorry.
raise something,
I'm sorry. It said here, in these minutes now, is not correct. The minutes that were signed off, and we're not supposed to discuss it for 6
George, I'm going to
months.
stop you there because this is exactly what was discussed last time. That's exactly what was discussed. That was discussed.
No, but these minutes are. I'm
and we
saying
can't
these-
debate
the-
previous minutes.
I'm sorry, yeah, but these, what it was previous minutes, it's been signed off, that it will
Yeah.
be sent to the village scene. The minutes will be sent to the village scene. Signed
Yeah.
off minutes will be sent to the
Yeah,
village
that's
scene.
fine. Yeah,
Fine.
if that's what they want, that's what they'll get.
Well, that's what was agreed by the parish council.
Yes.
Thank you. Fine. Number is on my George Hayward again, where I said that Councillor Richard Hooper was an exceptional or very good chair and the one of the hardest working chairs I've served with. And all you said in this minute is Councillor
not
Hayward.
me.
Councillor Hayward said he was sorry that he resigned. He thought he was a good chair. That's all you said about hard-working parish councillor who resigned and done all that work around this village, on the village. I think just a mention like that is not right.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like someone else put in there saying what he'd done. These are for perpetuity, these minutes.
But minutes are a summary.
I quite agree. In fact, they're a précis. That's what they are. The minutes are a précis of a parish council meeting or any meeting. Have you ever taken a minute? It's a précis. I've been instructed on that for many years. Now, there's an awful lot of stuff written in here, which is certainly not a précis, it's an epistle. And a little bit of what Richard Hooper did. I'm sorry. I'm saying this. I am sorry. I'm saying
this.
this.
Stop, please.
No, I'm sorry.
I need you to calm down.
I'm
I
not.
need you to calm down.
I'm not
Right.
irate. I think it was.
You're coming across
You
as
told me.
irate.
You're butting in on me, Chair.
Because
I
I'm
was
asking you
saying
to calm
something.
down.
No,
asking you
I'm
to calm
saying
down.
something. No, I'm entitled to say this. That you just told me that a minutes is a précis, whatever it is, and there's other stuff written in here. It's certainly far from a précis, and the all the hard work the chair, ex-chair, had done is not even recognised in the minutes.
Right, I need you to stop now because we've gone through this, okay? Okay.
So what are you going to do about it?
It stands. Does anybody else have an opinion on this? I'm going to put this to the whole council.
Personally, I think if George wants to make a written statement to
Yep.
put as an addendum to the existing minutes, fine, let him do it.
All right?
Thank you.
I feel the same. Do you?
Yeah, we can always add it.
Yeah?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. I finished.
All right?
Thank you. I finished.
Is that it, George?
That's I finished. Tthank you. You want this thing
Sorry, is there
switched?
anybody else? Does everybody else happy with everything else? Okay. Do you write that? Sorry. Ah, yeah. Yeah. I've just had it pointed out that there's bad language at the back. Is that right? Right. No, but if there's bad language coming out.
I haven't used any bad
Okay, thank you.
at all.
Right, public participation. I've been asked by Joyce Hayward. She'd like to go first.
Do you want the microphone?
Microphone.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Joe's bringing
I'll
hers.
spare you from standing up, and you can have a mobile one, Joyce.
It's switched on. Do you want to just put it there? Then I've got to put it
That's it. Yeah.
I would like to comment on point 268 on the agenda, that the Parish Council should pick up the ongoing financial support for the running of Buckland Brewer playing field. Let's first look at the aims of the Trust and the lease, 1994. It was for amateur sports and children's recreation. There has always been a committee to organise and run such activities and carry out the aims of the Trust. I think it has been at least 10 years since any Buckland Brewer amateur sports matches have been carried out. That is about when the cricket club stopped. The last chair of the committee was talking about taking down the play equipment because they have not enough money to repair it. That would remove the recreational equipment for young children of the village. Basically, that would remove any effort to support the aims of the trust and the lease. Although we see a few children playing on their own up in the field, we mainly see people walking their dogs. This was not the intention of the playing field. Let's look at the last committee, not the present one, the one who proposed / discussed taking down the play equipment. How many on that committee were interested in running sports or activities for adults or children of this parish? How many of that committee had dogs? How many of them have had to leave the playing field committee, including the chair of the playing field committee, to be able to vote on this matter? This is very much driving their own agenda. What an amazingly good example Daphne has been to us this week. She loves dogs and has supported dogs for the blind for many years. She organised an afternoon tea in her garden and raised a great deal of money. What a good example she has been to us all. Why can't people who love walking their dogs in the playing field organise similar events? Such as a coffee morning in the playing field or the church Sunday school room, a light lunch in the church Sunday school room or chapel or the village hall, or even a quiz in the village pub. These events / activities are not difficult to organise and raise good money. There are many ways for the committee and dog walkers to raise money and have fun. I would like to suggest ideas and ways that the committee could organise and raise money for the children at this parish. Circuit training at a weekend, or at 5 p.m. after school once a week. In the holidays or half term, have a tag rugby session, or a football session, or a cricket training session. And in the summer holidays, a children's sports afternoon. All these activities would make the trust and lease workable. It would make money and add to the activities for the village, and especially for the children and young people. I noticed that tonight on the agenda 276, the parish council have to discuss antisocial behaviour by children, spitting on the adult play equipment. If the playing field committee did what was expected of them, the children's behaviour would much improve. There is very little offered to young people at the moment. I just want to say that when Sarah came back from Bristol, she said to me, "Mum, there's nothing happening in this village for children. You have to start a youth club." So I said, "Go away, I'm not starting a youth club." And I started that choir. And I could have 30, 40 children turning up. And with all due respect, 30, 40 children turning up to choir has to mean there ain't much else going on. I mean, they came and I'd say, "But Sarah, they're not coming on Sunday." And she said, "That doesn't matter, Mum, there's something for them to do." And that's where we are again. If the playing field committee did what was expected, done that bit. Lastly, why are people on a committee and not prepared to do anything? Have you as a parish council asked how many events have they organised this year? How much money have they raised this year? I feel very strongly that the people on the playing field committee are on their own personal interest, not to fulfil the aims of the trust and the lease, and they're letting down the parishioners and especially the children of this parish.
Thank you, Joyce. I just want to answer one question. I joined that committee in November of last year with my partner. We worked very hard at doing a quiz. No one else but Kath to help us. We raised £445. Myself and Phil and Sally, we did the D-Day celebration up there. No help from anybody else. And we raised...
I think there was more. Sally helped.
Yeah.
She said
no.
But you are a committee. What do committees do?
No, I wasn't on the committee at that point,
No,
but none of the rest of the committee
but listen,
did help.
I'm not talking about
But-
you. I'm talking about, it's like the shop. They went out, they advertised, they looked for people, they got people. If you need to get down to that school. I've lost touch with the school. You need to get down to that school and find parents who want to do things. You've got to go for them. You've got to look for them. You can't sit here and say, "I've got to help me." It's hard. I know. I ran that thing here. We look at the kids that came. We only broke a bit of this stuff. You know, they came in and they had fun. You want people. You have to go.
The trouble is, Joyce, there's a few that do everything.
I know,
as you
but
well
listen,
know.
I've lived here 50 years.
I
I know
know.
all about it.
I know.
But what I'm saying, if you want that field, there is a trust, and you're not even half meeting it. I must go. Do you mind?
No. Thanks, Joyce. Thank you.
No,
No,
that's
it's not a
okay.
problem, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you want to have this one back?
Yeah, you can give it to anybody else.
But you know,
Right.
what I was
Sorry.
thinking of, coffee mornings, you could take a thermos up and people pay 50p. It would raise money. There's hundreds of people walking. You know, you could have a lunch, 3 people in your house, all pay a fiver. Those 3 go off and do another lunch for 3 people. It's not hard.
The trouble is, the money that's needed,
It's not that much. And look at Daphne did.
yeah,
We can do it.
yeah, it's fine.
Clive.
Clive.
Thank you.
I don't know. Listen, we can talk about this. I have no problem with meeting and talking. He's good at raising ideas. Look at his pocket. You know, we could make it happen. Get some people behind you. It could happen.
Before you, no, listen, before you go, I know how you feel, and I appreciate that, and I accept that, and as I do with George. But what I want to express is, just because it's coming under the umbrella of the parish council does not mean that money can't be raised for it independently.
That's the trouble.
The parish council has given £25,000 to that playing field since 2015.
Yes, I know. Perhaps that's why they don't raise
That's fine.
We have to go out, we have to meet people, and that committee must not think it's just going to come in from the House Council.
Yeah,
It's very,
okay.
very
Yeah,
wrong.
no, I agree.
And I think you've got Dave here, he's on the school governors, you've got to get down there, you've got to meet those parents. But I mean, circuit training, with all due respect, I don't know anything about circuit training. You put some bollards here, you put some hoops here, you put something else here. They go around every minute, they do that one, then they go to that one, and they do it 3 or 4 times, see if they get better, pay you 50p. And you've got kids coming up after school and doing something.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people good at cricket here. One day, I'm saying, one day a year, get a gang of old cricketers together, have some fun, get some footballers. I'm just saying once in the half term, or once in a term. Rugby, Harley Brown, brilliant little players. Only task rugby, don't get pushing them over. Show them how to pass the ball. There's no reason that these things can't happen, and that becomes a playing field which will, and you'll stop us pitching.
Absolutely. I agree with you entirely on that.
I wish you well.
Thank you, Joyce.
Well done, Joyce. Thanks for
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, there's a girl here at 40 as well.
What was that? Sorry?
She said, put me down for pouring tea.
Clive.
Good evening, Chair. One item on your agenda tonight is taking financial responsibility for for maintenance of residential verges. Is that something the parish council normally does? Is it something that's in the precept?
I'm going to come to that and I will explain all.
I'd like to think people take an example, like the newcomers to the village opposite the pub who've done a magnificent job widening the carriageway, not just maintaining their verge. That's
Mr. Walker,
fantastic.
yes, I joined the police with him, so yes, he's a good bloke.
Yes, I've spoken to him.
yeah,
Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, thank you. Clive, can I just take back the... Clive, can you just check Brenda's lights on?
There.
Okay, thank you. Is that all right? Can you hear?
I can hear you loud and clear.
First of all, I've just got a couple of little things. First of all, on Facebook, it was mentioned about the consultation presentation, preparations, and you had a meeting. I think you got some people together. Can you assure me that the very first thing you actually said was, we are not selling a whole field? There seems to be a lot...
Yeah, I'll just stop you on that one then, Brenda. Yeah, it will be put out to the public exactly the way it's going to be. It's not a full field. It's only 1.4 acres of that field. It will be put out like that. Don't you worry.
Well, I am worried.
No, don't worry. It will be put out like that.
But it's been put out first of all.
I am worried because
Hang on.
my husband said at the last meeting that it was part of a field. And the way we've had conversations, I take it that it's not on the minutes. Now, I know you want to cut all these minutes back a bit, but on the flip side, you happen to say that David Watson said that the that the village scene couldn't put in all the minutes in their entirety. But, I don't feel there's a level playing field of what is being recorded and what isn't. But as long as the whole of the parish knows that it's not a whole field, that'll be fine. Regarding the parish village scene, I must thank George very much for being so patient with all my phone calls and what he's done. Because yes, April the 10th, and it's there, signed off, minutes, would be sent to the village scene. Back Lane was come up on Facebook. I'm not the biggest Facebook user, but something come up about rubbish or something.
Turf.
Pardon?
Turf.
Turf, sorry, I beg your pardon, turf. That's right. So when we were in the village, Trevor occasionally says, shall we go for a little drive? And usually there's a parish council or some sort of reason for it. And here has done the lanes. And what I'd like to say is, I know I've brought it up before, and Andrew have always said it's never going to happen. But I'm going to bring it up again, Andrew, sorry. Because now I think it should be happening. And that is signs at each entrance to Back Lane so that there is a vehicular access. I mean, somebody, I don't quite know who, and it doesn't matter, but there's a sign down Northwood Lane to say that no vehicles pass such and such. So if there can be a sign put up for that, I would like to see 2 signs, one each side, one each end of Back Lane, because vehicles can't go down there. I drove past there the other day, and you can't go down there.
That sign was not, the one up in Northwood Lane was not sorted by this parish council. That was sourced by Richard Hooper, who had it put in.
All right. Well, perhaps we could be asking Devon County Council or something, but I think something should
You're
be
saying
done.
for have no vehicular,
Pardon?
no vehicle access, is that what you're saying?
Very much so.
You
There
want
is
vehicle access,
vehicle
yeah,
access.
yeah.
We've
That's why
done it
I've written
years
down
ago.
vehicle access, yeah.
Pardon?
Sorry, you confused me because you said about no vehicle access up
Yeah,
there,
no
sorry.
vehicle access there,
Yeah.
but keep the lanes free here,
Mm-hmm,
you know, to encourage people to go down
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
And today's fiasco over at Brewer, I must admit that I felt a lot of time has been wasted. Trevor was on the phone to somebody and just talking and come up about the rag work, of which Trevor is very concerned about.
You've lost me
And
slightly. What's
I'm
happened
just
at Brewer?
saying, on the phone today, it come up about the rag work,
Right,
and the person on the end of the phone said, oh, it's on the agenda. I said, it's not. And I've just broke the mic.
No,
it is on the agenda.
Oh, I think that's a catch. Okay. He said it's not. And I looked at the agenda, and it's not.
I
And
thought it was on
then
the agenda. Hang on one
later
second. Can you wait a second? Joe? It should be on the agenda. It should be on the agenda.
Have you got the agenda in front of you?
It's not here, and I think that...
I think it was members' report.
Ah, no.
That's it. It's been
Yes.
brought up in members' report, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. I can explain that. It came in slightly too late, and we've suggested to Trevor that he talks about it in members' reports.
It is on 280.
This is...
It wasn't sent too late.
Andrew, what, sorry? What, I thought Mrs Mills was talking.
the problem is the agenda you have in front of you is not the same as on the website. The agenda's been amended after it was published.
So where's this one coming from?
Legal. Well,
Right, where have you got this one from?
Public.
Right, so the public agenda has got 280, decision on what should be done to make parishioners aware of ragwork.
I've got 280 members' reports.
Yeah, I have as well. So we've got 2. So this is the public one, and this is the one that we've got. I think there's probably been an overlap.
Shouldn't they be both the same?
They should be both the
There's
same.
just been a mistake. I think that because there was a little bit of toing and froing going on, I think there's probably been... So we can go by we'll go by the public one, Joe, yeah? Yeah.
So does that throw out any other numbers like 279, 280, 281? Well, what does that throw out? Sorry, it's correct up to that point, is it? It's correct up to 280?
I think what happened was, and I said, you asked me, and I said put it on the agenda.
Well, in all fairness, it was a matter of... Trevor considers it a matter of
absolutely.
urgency,
Yeah.
and the research that he put into it, he got increasingly more worried day by day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, finally, I'd just like to say that I had to look at what our county councillor said, and that is, of the county council, they expect our cars to be roadworthy, but the roads aren't car, were they? Sorry, Sally, was that something that...
Yeah, no, that's something that's been said. Yeah, he said last time he was here, didn't he?
Pardon?
He said it last time he was here.
No, before the last time he was here.
Well, it was Councillor Morris said it.
It was, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And that stuck at me.
Mm.
So my thoughts are, if we're expected to do our housework and pay our taxes and you get the precept, is the returns we are getting acceptable?
In what
And
way?
I don't think, well,
In
this
relation-
afternoon with these two agendas, how can Trevor and you parish councillors do your job properly?
What are you trying to get at?
I'm saying
What
that
are you
I
trying to
don't
say?
think we're getting the standard that we're paying a precept for.
In what relation to what?
Well, administrative work. You know,
Are
we've
you
got the-
referring
we've
to
got the
our
village-
clerk?
Pardon?
Are you referring to the clerk?
If you want to, yes.
Right. So you're referring to the clerk being paid to do her job, and you're saying that we're not getting our money's worth. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I feel very disappointed that today I was with a parish councillor who couldn't do his work properly, and he was answering members of the public. You know, it isn't on the agenda, and the members of the public were saying, oh, yes, it is.
Right.
You know, they're knowing stuff before the parish councillors, and I don't think it's on.
So you are making it publicly known that you feel that the clerk isn't worthy of the money that she's being paid. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. I'm
what are you
saying that we are, you know, being increasingly, you know, our precepts have gone up in that. And when in reflection, I kind of think, well, what have we got? And I'm not too sure that I can say that we got a lot more for our money.
I think we should leave it there, Chair,
Yeah,
and
thank you.
make a note of the
Yeah.
member of the public's comments.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said, I'm saying to the Chair, I think we should take note of your comments. That's the end.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Appreciate that.
Anybody else? Thank you. Oh, can somebody pass the microphone? Right.
Thank you.
Oh, no. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
If you go to Torridge District Council, and you will see the names of the people that have called for the election, which is going to cost up to £5,000, which is going to have to be passed on in the precept to the players.
Paid by the prefect,
Yeah, where it could have quite easily been resolved if the people that want to go on the parish council were elected by the councillors on merit. That's it. Thank you as far as that's concerned. The other thing is, Cross Park. Do we know when there's any signs going to be posted to say that Southwood Meadows is leading to Cross Park?
I'm not quite sure, but that is something that can be looked at, Keith, actually.
And at the moment, they put a Cross Park road sign up,
Yeah.
which is the other side of the offices for the sales offices, not at the end of the road. And I asked the lady in the sales office why, because you couldn't see it from the end of the road, and she said she had no idea. Because we're constantly getting people come round to our end of the Southwood Meadows and having to turn around because
Yeah.
they just do not know where Cross Park is.
Yeah.
So something needs to be done about that, but I don't know by who. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith.
We can, is that Alison Holmes?
Yeah.
So we can,
Yeah.
when the next meeting is, I don't know when it is.
I don't know when it is either, but
But-
I think they've stopped at the moment.
Stop building. Well then, could we
Yeah,
could we
I think-
send a letter
Still need
The-
a sign.
the-
don't
and a sign? Sure, thank you.
The problem was that all their kind of all their estates that they're building have all got names of plants, flowers, and so then we've we've asked them to call it Cross Park, which they've done, but all the signs, every lamp post within 10 square miles of Buckland's got Foxglove Boo on, because it's their company policy.
Yeah.
I think also,
Some of the residents around here think they're living in
Foxglove.
Foxglove View.
there needs to be two signs really, because there needs to be one at the end of Southwood Meadows and then the left-hand turn, because if there's not going to be a sign there, they're still going to keep going down the cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
My address from the water board has changed.
Yeah, so's mine.
Road,
Mine has.
Cross Park.
Yeah, mine has as well. I've suddenly become Cross Park as well.
The other day, they put it all on our doorstep. I said, I'm sorry, it's not ours. But it was 19 Cross Park.
Yeah, no, we're the same. We're the same.
Every day we're getting it.
Every time you look, there's another sign go up there.
Just to correct you, Joe, do we have a figure for the by-election, how much it's costing the people of the precept?
I did say up to 5,000.
Yeah, that's fine. And I take it that members of the public who are worried about the precept, that the people who've called the by-election have, it will cost the by, yeah.
Do we know?
But it is costing us.
We've got an estimate of 3,300. They have scaled it down, but that's only an estimate.
Do we know? Sorry. Do we know whether there is going to be election, or is people?
We
how
don't know
many
yet.
people
There's no nominations
Fine, so, but
yet.
if there's only one standing, I mean, we are.
Well, if there is only one standing like Kate, then it won't cost us anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cost of election can be given 12 months after the election. That's what we've done.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. Still got to be paid.
Well, it's democracy, isn't it?
Comes at a price of the precept.
Always.
Yeah, of the parish. Okay, anybody else? Thank you. Clerk's report.
Well, if I start with the election then, since that's topical, let's just lead straight on. 12 people requested an election to fill the seat that's vacant. We won't receive a notice of election until close to the end of the month, but the provisional date is the 3rd of October for the election. So it's a case of waiting for the official notice, which will obviously be displayed as it needs to be as a statutory notice, and that will confirm all the dates and deadlines that are associated to it. So no news beyond that at the moment, and the estimated cost I've just mentioned. Right, we've received an advance notice from Cellnex, and this is the company that manages the telecom mast on Thornhill Head. So the council has just been notified that there may be an opportunity for a lump sum payment from that telecom site. We don't have any details at the moment, but an agent's going to be contacting the council within the next few weeks with a few options. So obviously, as and when that arrives, that will come back to council to be discussed appropriately. I won't mention the audit.
On that matter, I think we should notify our agent so that he's well prepared. He will tell us what it's worth before we get accepting anything from Cellnex.
Yeah, good point.
That'll need to go onto an agenda then to vote for it.
What? Say that again.
To instruct the agent.
That'll have to go on the agenda, though.
It will have to go on an agenda.
Yeah.
We've had a letter as well from Holsworthy Motor Club. They've got an event. It's classic cars and motorbikes that will be passing through the parish. It's part of a national competition. So again, no real detail at the moment, just that it's happening on Sunday the 15th of September. So the start point and end point is Clovelly, so they're just travelling around the whole district. And I think that's it, 'cause I think everything else is on the... agenda, so yeah, leave it there.
Can I just ask,
Yes, sorry.
on 9, you've got internal audit,
Hang on, that's in red, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, it's not for reading out in public, is it not?
since when?
That was what was sent to us, was it not?
Sorry?
That was sent to us, was it not?
Yes, yes, that is what I printed off.
Right. It's in red, so that's not for the public, is it?
Well, you just read it in number
Yeah,
13.
It can be. I was
Oh,
just
right.
all I do is just highlight the things that
Oh, right.
are the most topical, really.
Okay,
So,
we're going to talk about the
but
audit.
the audit is on the agenda, so I've skipped the things that are on the agenda.
The rest of it's on the agenda, George.
It is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Item number 6, dock. I think we should have the whole newsletter circulated to every councillor. And not because we don't live in Bideford or Torrington, it affects us all.
You all
We
receive
do,
it.
we get it. I've
You
got
all
it.
receive it.
We don't get all the things that's going on.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, you do. You get the whole newsletter. Every single
I
councillor
had
does.
the newsletter this morning. Whole newsletter.
I'll stand to be corrected then, but I'll look and see. I'll bring it up again if that's not correct.
Do you want me
If
to...
I-
do you want me,
if
yeah, yeah.
I only had one this week to say that there was a, what do you call it?
Are you signed up to DOG?
Jo forwards it on anyway, doesn't she?
Yeah, but I get it directly from DOG. You just sign up to them and you get it, and Joe forwards it as well.
I used to get it all when Pat was clerk.
Yeah, you have to sign up.
No,
and
I
Joe,
signed
and
up.
Joe signed.
I
starts
signed
up.
every single councillor
Yeah.
up, and you all receive it directly from Dole.
Mm.
So everything that
Does
I
everybody else
get,
get it? Yeah. You must be the only one then.
everything that I get, you get directly.
Do you get it, George?
If you've got to open it up,
Yeah.
then it explodes.
That's the one.
Is that
You've
the one?
got it, yeah.
I get it.
Do you want me to send mine through to you and see if you can compare notes?
Yes, go on then.
I won't do it right now, but I'll do it when I get home. Yes, Brenda?
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Trevor is not receiving the Devon County Council alerts. Pat always used to send everything like that, and it was up to them whether they read it or not. There have been a couple of incidences that I've said to Trevor, because are you making fun of it or something? I said to Trevor on a couple of incidences, I see Joe Blocks.
Can you use the microphone, please? Can you use the microphone, please? But this really isn't public participation.
Okay, yep.
Right.
Devon County Council alerts are not coming through to Trevor because a couple of instances I've said to him, oh, so-and-so, Newton Tracy, people that we know have had agricultural problems, thefts, and there was one at Yarnscombe. It's on our doorstep, and I think it's handy, and Trevor found it handy before, all these alerts. We only, we've signed up to them personally, so we get them all.
We get them.
And I've said before now at Parish Council
But we
that I
get them.
advise you all to get them.
But we do get them.
Well, they don't get sent on, do they?
I don't send every single one on. I don't send every single one. Every person, every member of the public can sign up to these alerts.
Yeah, I know.
You get loads and loads of
I know.
them. And, sometimes, a lot of the time it's not in this area. If you want to have them, you can sign up to them. And I can bombard...
Trevor, please. Thank you.
I can bombard your mailboxes with all of these newsletters if that's what you want. I would like to just reply to one thing, and that is all of these comments here are very, very rude and inappropriate. I can't help feeling that this has been pre-planned, and I do think that as a courtesy, you could have actually had a conversation with me, with the personnel committee, if you believe that I am doing something wrong. You have lots and lots of things that you can do, and I am going to mention to Councillors Hayward and Mills, you are not following procedure.
I'm sorry, we are.
You absolutely are
Yes,
not.
we are.
Not when it comes to me, you are not.
Yes, we are.
Right.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Right.
Thank you.
I've said my piece. I do think
George,
this is
stop.
really, really inappropriate. I am an employee of the council and I have employment rights. And this is absolutely appalling. And to bring members of your family in to speak for you, I think is just shameful.
I'm sorry. You suggest each person, my wife...
Point of
has
order a
got-
minute. I'm just going to stop you there. Thank you. I do not want a slanging match in this Paris Council
Well, I've just
meeting.
been accused. I've just
No.
been accused. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Chair. I'm having a point
I
of
think
order.
what we
I'm
will
making a
do. I
statement.
think what we will do. Thank you, because this is a public meeting. We are being streamed live. What I think we will do is we will have another part 2 meeting, and let's talk about this. I have been accused. I have to say, let me finish. I have
you
to
didn't let
say,
me finish.
I'm the chair. Pardon? Pardon?
Can you carry on?
Sorry? What did you just say?
That was very rude.
That was really rude. You have signed up to a respect and civility pledge, and right at this precise moment, there is definitely no respect or civility. I'm not looking at you a minute, George. I'm looking at Trevor.
Right. Sorry, George. Right.
George.
Thank you. I have been accused of a member of my family say something for me.
I'm going to stop you there.
I'm
No,
sorry.
hang on,
Unless you tell me
George,
that
George,
Clerk said
I'm going to stop you
different.
there. Actually, I'm going to be fair to you. Joyce didn't. She was literally talking about the playing field. She wasn't rude. Hang on, let me finish, all right? And I agree with you. She wasn't rude, but I'm afraid there has been another spouse in here who has been digging constantly at the clerk, and I'm very well aware of that.
Would you kindly then put it in public
Yep.
that you're not referring to me?
Nope. I'm not referring
my
to
wife.
Mrs. Hayward.
We are-
was very respectful. She spoke to me before this meeting and told me exactly what she was going to say, and she was very respectful, so I agree.
So you are saying thank you for that. So it's definitely for the public out there. I'm representing parishioners. I put myself around to represent parishioners. That has nothing to do with me. What the clerk has just said does not reflect on me or what I've done or my wife's done, who's a separate entity from me, and I can tell you she's a separate entity.
Yeah. Your wife has not... Did you feel disrespected by Mrs. Hayward? I do apologise about this.
No, I didn't. I did feel disrespected, though, with all the to and fro with the minutes, because some of those things really didn't need to be said here.
I'm sorry they did, because I'm a representative of parishioners. Thank you.
Okay, where are we?
266.
Oh, thank you. Right. Decision whether Buckland Brewer playing... Parish Council should take financial responsibility for residential grass cutting and maintenance of verges. I'm going to explain this one.
Please.
Okay, good. In 2019, this parish council voted for verges and basically where the Devon County Council would normally mow. They voted that the parish council would pay for it, which, if you look in the whole big scheme of things, would actually bankrupt this parish council. So therefore, I'm proposing that we renege on that, because if everybody in this parish came forward and said that they have a grass verge that Devon County Council normally cuts,
Or used to cut.
or used to cut, should I say? Yes, thank you, Vice. We are going to be bankrupt. Does everybody understand that? Yeah.
Because it was only food places that they were.
But the way it's phrased in the minutes in 2019, it could be, for example, Orley Close, Tower Hill, and where does it stop? And we are a big parish.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm proposing that we take that back. We do not, and we are not responsible for the financially responsible for the residential grass cutting and maintenance of verges in this parish. I'm proposing that.
I'll second it.
Oh, hello. Come on.
Just to make the meeting a little bit longer. This was kind of discussed a while ago when the Dalt County Committee was still in place. It's not now. But it's because there was places throughout Devon where kind of new estates had been built, and there was a management plan in place to kind of cut off bits of grass and things like that. Now, the problem was that some of these management consultancy places went bankrupt, and who was going to cut it? So there was a worry from the other parish councils around the county was, are we going to be left to pick this up? So this is, this has been was a live kind of concern at the time.
Okay. But that's, yes, thank you. So I'm proposing that we don't take responsibility, financial responsibility for residential
I was just going to
parking.
bring up something.
Oh, go on then.
But some parishioners have brought it up to me because they said that Devon County Council used to go around and cut the grass once a month on some of the estates, and they've stopped now.
Yes,
So now, which, they can't afford it, they've not got any money for whatever reasons, and now they're having to pay for it themselves. And some of them don't feel that that's right when it was done for free, and now they've got to pay for
Well,
it.
it's never done for free, is it? Because
Well, it comes out of the Devon County Council used to pay for it.
which the taxpayers have
Yes.
to pay for.
Yes,
And
and that's what they feel that, they pay for it. Why should they have to pay extra on top? That's what they're saying.
I know, but this is a big parish. We don't have a massive precept. We've already had to put it up, and I just think that if everybody starts having their grass verges, we are never going to see the end of it. Anyway, I'm proposing that we take that back. Can I have a seconder, please? Okay, can I have a show of hands? Everybody in favour?
In support?
No, to taking it back off, take it away.
Yeah,
Yes.
in support, we're not cutting them.
Yes,
Yeah.
and paying for it. Joe? Full. Standing orders. Approval of updated policy document following the review. Has everybody read the new little bit? It's not a lot, is there, Joe?
Can you, I got a question mark.
Okay.
Approval of,
Yeah.
standing orders one.
Standing orders. I think it's only a little bit of wording.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
what we've done is added.
Can you explain the long wording of
Go on.
the second one you said? Just go through the word.
Standing orders, the approval of the renewed thing. I think one bit has been added that, and thank goodness it has, that it's gone from a 2-hour meeting to 3 hours.
Yes, yeah, that's fine, that's fine.
Which I think we've it's including a part 2 meeting. Which I think we're stretching it by now even. And what was the other bit, Joe? It's only 2 bits, isn't it?
That we're retaining footage of official meetings.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Could you read that through and just There's a lot of words. Yeah, can you just read it through and explain it, please?
So meetings were down in standing orders for being up to 2 hours.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Oh, you got that bit. Retaining the recording.
Yes. Can you just read that through and explain it? It lost me halfway through.
Oh,
So what we're doing, I think.
what we're doing, yeah. Are we talking about, you're talking about the recordings, aren't you?
Yeah.
That we're retaining those recordings for, I think, 5 years.
This standing order one that went through, oh God, lost the place. That's the wrong one.
That's all that was updated.
I think I've got it now. Oh, well.
Well, we thought there'd be well, I think it has been decided before, Dave, but I think, so there's an overlap of councils.
You've written in the word unofficial, sorry.
Is that all right? Is that all right?
You've written in the word red unofficial.
Oh, I didn't write it.
I know, that's fine.
Right, yeah.
There's a lot
It's because it is unofficial.
So you're getting rid of, what are you getting rid of?
Right.
I've got no problem with it.
No, because it's as such unofficial recording. It's not official recording.
You're talking about that?
Yeah.
Gotcha,
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
A
right.
bit thick to that, sorry.
Because at the moment, it's available. All for if you go onto the YouTube channel, it's all there. I still would like to kind of take off the old parish council stuff.
Why?
It's a different council.
No, I think there should be an overlap of 5 years. So after 2 years of this one being in, you've still got 3 years of the last one.
Previous ones.
Standing orders.
I thought standard orders.
It stays
The standing orders assume that we hold them indefinitely because
Right.
that's what the council
But-
voted
but-
previously.
But the
You
par-
didn't get charged for it.
but the parish council don't hold it. It's the chapel hold it. It's on our thing.
Let's have this put back on the agenda.
Yeah,
again.
I just would like some kind of clarification, really,
Okay,
of
so
how long.
George, do you understand the standing orders?
A bit of paper I want to read from.
Oh, okay, brilliant. Okay.
This was sent 9th of August, yeah. The standing orders have been reviewed, just need to be signed off next meeting. There are a couple of minor changes. The first one you'd explain, that's fine, yeah. Then it seems that 12F, subject to the publication of draft minutes in accordance with Standing Order 12E and Standing 20A, following a resolution which confirms the accuracy of the minutes of a meeting, the draft minutes or unofficial recordings of the meeting for which approved minutes exist shall be informal recordings of the meeting for which approved minutes exist shall be destroyed. This is to reflect BBBC has sanctioned meeting recordings due to the meetings being live streamed and they are retained indefinitely.
Well done. Joe?
Can you give
Short and
what does that say?
Hanging on to the recordings.
We're hanging on to the recordings
Yeah.
and destroying
Well, no.
all paperwork.
No.
No.
No, only if I take contemporaneous notes when I'm doing minutes, for instance, when the minutes are signed off, you just get rid of your old notes, and so all you retain is the actual signed off.
So that just basically means you get rid of the unsigned minutes.
Yeah, because
The draft minutes, sorry.
Yeah, so yeah.
That's all it says. All right, that's fine. It's
Well,
just,
I think that's the clause you were reading out. I couldn't hear all of it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry,
think
but-
it is. I think it is.
well, you
Yeah.
sent it on the 9th of August, standing orders.
Yeah.
I won't read it again,
No, please,
take up
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, fine. That's
Okay.
all right. Thank
All
you.
right, are you happy with that? Okay,
Yeah,
so
I understand it now, thank you.
can we just have a vote? Everybody happy with the new the review of the standing orders? Yep, Joe. Playing field. George, obviously you declared an interest in 268.
Sorry, what are we on now? Sorry.
268,
Which is,
the playing
right,
field.
I'll clear off it well then. Probably BBC, yeah.
You can sit in the audience if you want. Don't worry about going outside. You sure?
Yeah, then
All right.
no interference and all that.
Okay, no problem. So obviously there was a vote back in March, and obviously we've had a lot of toing and froing since then about whether that was okay for the vote to go through. It was decided that obviously that vote was fine. Joe and no, I know you didn't. It's fine. Go, be gone. And George is obviously sought advice, and that he is okay with the fact that the vote was okay. Valid, that's the word. Thank you very much. Therefore, I'm proposing that with immediate effect that the BBPFA comes under the umbrella of the Parish Council. That's what I'm proposing. Oh, it's not public participation now, I'm afraid, Mr. Hewitt.
I'm well aware of that.
Yeah.
But you can't do any of that before an AGM.
Right, so that's fine.
The Constitution
Yeah.
says that you cannot do anything before an AGM.
But can we vote?
Yeah.
And then
we
when
can
it's
have
the
that-
AGM,
Your vote
then...
is nothing anyway, so you carry on.
Well, I don't know why you're making such a scene then.
Well, because you
Right.
need to know.
Because nothing's going to happen before the AGM anyway.
No, well, you're voting on it.
No, but nothing's going to happen until the AGM anyway.
Well, you just said immediate effect.
No, that it comes under the umbrella as immediate. Joe?
The council is going to have to make a decision sooner rather than later, because you're going to start your preset calculations imminently, you know, as soon as you get to October, and that will predate the AGM anyway. So it would make sense to have a confirmation of a date, because you'll need to build that in.
Yeah. Which AGM? Our AGM or the playing field?
Playing field.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's 'cause that'll be next March. No, you won't do it. Well, we could do it from immediate effect, couldn't we, Joe, really? Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm proposing. You go second me? Oh, right, Clive. Can you use the microphone, please, Clive?
The actual agenda says the date for it to come under control. So
Yeah.
I think that satisfies this gentleman here. You're talking about the date. And if you're proposing the date be after the AGM, then does that not satisfy both parties and be correct?
What, so that it comes under after the date of their AGM? Yeah, fine. That suits me. Okay, so shall we say from, you have the AGM in November, don't you? So shall we say from December the 1st, the Parish Council comes under the umbrella of the Parish Council? Is that all right, Joe? Yeah, proposing, second, vote. Anyone? Thank you. Unanimous. Joe? Can somebody let George back in, please? Yeah, please. Oh, sorry. Getting some water. It's cold.
Has the sun gone down already, George?
Yeah, regular.
We're getting there. Right, 269, public consultation working group update. I'm bored of hearing my own voice, so Dave, do you want to give an update on that, please?
Customer, public speaking. Right, well, we did have our we've had two meetings. The last couple of Mondays, we initially met and we had a wide-ranging discussion about the background rate to where we're at the moment. And this week we looked at and kind of agreed, or kind of looked at the wording of what is going to be put out at some stage on a date to be decided. what the question is going to be, about whether the population of Buckland Parish agrees with the suggestion that a part of the field, with 1 point whatever it is acres of Blackwood's field, is kind of looked at and sold towards a industrial units. So that's the bit we've got to at the moment. But obviously everything will come back to here for discussion and voting on. And then we'll have to work out how we're going to do this consultation.
Yeah, so the summary of it all is, George? The summary of all this is basically that we will have a yes or no vote on a date in October, but prior to that, there will be a leaflet that goes out to everybody in the parish with all the background knowledge about it, yeah? And it will come back to council a week before so that you can read through it all before we come to the council and vote on it.
The wording of the consultation.
The consultation.
Fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
And just one query, I'm not doing anything, whatever. This consultation working group, is it under the umbrella of the parish council, or is it separate from that entirely? And who is the clerk?
No, it's literally just a working group of people.
Of people?
Yeah.
So is our parish clerk the clerk of it, or what?
Yeah, she's on
You
the
are?
working group. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. And we're paying for that, for her to do
No.
that? That's not paid. So everybody's on there.
I take it you're not being paid for that, are you? You volunteer.
You volunteer. That's all I wanted to know, just to clarify. Thank you. Because I was not involved in this at all. I'd just like to know. Thank you.
Let's not get hung up on the salary of the clerk.
Thank
shall
you.
we? Everybody's there as a volunteer, George. Right, bus shelter. Oh, he's gone. Decision regarding remedial action required to fix a reported leak and approve associated costs. But as Councillor Mills is no longer here, would anybody else like to mention that? Oh, anybody?
Well, I take it there's a leak there.
There's a leak. It's never been mentioned before. I think what the confusion was we were talking about new bus shelters, so it had never been discussed before.
I've not been aware that there's a leak, but there could well have been.
No, it hasn't.
Not since we've been. I think it might have been previous councils, but not since we've been.
Previous council it was said it was leaking, and I thought it was fixed. I mean, it probably it leaks every so often. You've got to fix it. Just put a bit of someone there.
Yeah, that's right.
So what we're going to do about fixing this here?
I mean, it's been there for several years now, so we expect it to start
Can we
leaking.
get someone to look at it?
What about the next vote?
Yeah.
Just refelt it, is that what it is?
I wouldn't have a clue. I would probably.
Okay, well, coming back to that, because obviously one wants to discuss something on 274, so if we can come back to that bus shelter in a minute. Thank you. We're sort of deferring for a moment, Joe, on that one. 271, 2024 firework event, decision whether the PC should sponsor an event in 2024, following a request from some parishioners and agree a budget if applicable. Anybody got any views on this?
I think it's a good idea.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you want to say something?
No, I think it's something for the parish.
Yeah,
You know,
quite agree.
obviously, we've got to keep an eye on the budget. I've got this one here. And I think we should use the playing field for it because it's not near too many houses, even if we have to pay to put one toilet up there.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I know the village hall's down the bottom, but I think also there's a lot of houses surrounding that area with a lot of animals. Where up the playing field, there's not so many animals to upset, is there?
No. Could
So,
always
yeah.
have those silent ones.
Yeah. So.
Go on.
Yeah, I quite agree. Just all I would like to, for PR of the parish council is, can we just announce it somewhere that there is going to be big bangs on November the 5th if we're doing it up there?
Yeah, no, I
If,
agree.
you know,
And-
just somewhere, you
yeah.
know, on Facebook, whatever you
Yeah,
do, you
yeah,
know, just
yeah.
make sure it's all about PR.
So do you want to agree an amount? So, firstly, I propose, does anyone want a second?
I'll
We have a
second.
firework, thank you, a firework display, show
I'll
of hands.
second, Jen.
Yeah, and yes, Joe? Well, that is small.
Sorry, can we link it with like a barbecue or something down there or whatever?
Yeah, well, we can get...
The other time.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah. No, we haven't got long, actually. It's only a couple of months. But I think last year you got the food vans out, didn't you? So we can look at doing something like that. And that went down really well, the hog roast and things like that. Let's look at...
I missed. Did you agree a budget?
No,
No,
not yet.
no.
Okay, no. I had to agree that they wanted it.
Where
Any proposals on how much was it last year? How much was it?
The cost was fireworks,
Yeah.
and that was it. And it was 280 plus VAT, and obviously we got the VAT back. So.
280 plus VAT. If we wanted some portaloos, I think they're £22, aren't
Yeah,
they?
so you,
Not £11
Well,
each.
One thing you have to think about is last time when it was down the village hall put on a bar, and it was covered by their license. So obviously, if we're going to be up the playing field, and we have a bar, there will need to be a license.
I think bring your own.
That's right.
It's good that,
Don't
you know,
drink-
people
I
have to
don't drink
budget
much
now,
anyway.
don't they?
Yeah.
You know.
you may be able to get a food truck in for that as well, with a bar.
Yeah, could do, couldn't we? Because they run with their own licence. But it's good to use that field, and I think it's a good field to use for that.
Just something to consider that you
Okay.
you need a like.
So,
What date as well? We need to decide.
5th of November.
Is that a weekend or is it a week?
Are you having a laugh?
Because sometimes if it's on a weeknight,
Can somebody tell me when the 5th of November is?
Could I
Yes,
just
George.
are we constructing a bonfire with
Use the
sticks and
beacon.
stuff?
Well, do you know
We've
what?
got the beacon. We've got a beacon.
We've got the beacon.
Yeah, fine. I just wonder.
So I think it'd be good to use that beacon.
Yeah,
We
quite
own,
agree.
the parish council own it. Let's use
Quite
it.
agree.
So Joe, would it be fair to say if we look at
5th of November is on a Tuesday.
yeah, but people still come out.
Yeah.
I think it was on a Monday last year. If we look at because obviously a portaloo, we've got to have a portaloo. If we look at a £300 budget, what does everybody think?
I would say maybe a little bit higher than that.
So
If you don't spend it all, it's fine, isn't it? But if
Oh,
you,
that's
if
true.
you allow a little bit more.
So should we say 350? 350? Does everybody?
Yeah. Do I dare suggest that? I wouldn't like to think so, but you could raise money. Do you charge? But you don't give enough to charge for an entrance, do you, or anything? I don't know. I don't know Shane's donations.
your
Paul,
pocket again.
what do you think? I mean, I'm just chucking things out.
Look, on D-Day, people did go round with, these two went round with buckets and raised 180 quid. Now, we did split that between the British Legion and the playing field. And I agree with you. I think we're putting on a display. Is there any reason? And it can go back in for the playing field, which we're trying to, subsidise still. So I agree with you. Yes?
Yeah. I think it's a
So
good idea.
£350.
Spend a penny.
Yeah. 350 quid? Yeah. I propose. Somebody second me? Vote. Right, thank you. Right, here we go again. Decision whether BBPC should sponsor a VE Day commemoration event in 2025 and agree a budget. I know it seems like we're spend here, but we missed the D-Day. As a parish council, I felt quite ashamed that we didn't put something on for D-Day, and I think VE Day is incredibly important. I know that in Leighton they're doing something here and you guys, aren't you? You're doing something with medals and something, so it's the 80th.
Something like that.
So that's my idea is, again, the playing field, we've got the beacon.
I was going to say that.
Any idea? George, do you want to say anything on that?
Agree. I totally agree.
Yeah? Now, would we need much of a budget? Would we put on fireworks for something like that? I don't suppose we would we? No.
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 When the thoughts all no.
We've got the beacon.
Would you like the beacon coming? Yes, there is. The history group are going to put something together.
Yeah.
I've spoken to the school and they want to be involved as well.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay, so that is started to be kind of looked at.
I think it can be a proper event. I mean, like
Yeah.
the choir can come up. I've asked Pete Geiger if he'll come and sing, and so we make it a bit of an event, and get some Oggy vans in as well. What do you call them? Food van things. Again, Chuckway.
And again about the drink and things, drinking and that.
Yeah, bring your own. BYO.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Do we need much of a budget, Joe, for that?
Well, it depends how elaborate you want it to be. If you want it fairly low key, then you probably don't. And again, if you bring food trucks in, they'll bring everything with them.
Yeah. Toilets and stuff like
it's
that.
just the
Can I just suggest that this is next year?
Yeah, so
we can come back to this and
fine.
build on it, provided we've got.
Right.
Yeah, George, I quite agree.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm proposing we have a VE day and that the parish council will look at funding later in the year. I propose. Anyone second? Oh, go you lot.
Anyone?
And vote. Yep, unanimous. Right, let's whiz through these. Decision whether to appoint a new footpath warden. I can confirm that Phil's decided that he's going to do that. Is everybody happy?
Well done, Phil.
No.
Are you happy to be the footpath warden?
So provided you can bear with me over the next couple of months while I get used to my new situation. And I don't think we need to panic too much about it.
No.
At the moment anyway, because I think stuff is in fairly good order.
Yep.
But I do agree, we don't want to let this go because there's £1,000 worth of funds waiting to be spent on equipment, etc., etc. So we don't want to let it go. So yes, I'll put my name down.
Do we have to vote for him to be? Yep. We've got to vote. Yeah. Sorry, George.
We also get a grant from the footpath or
That's
someone.
what we mean.
I thought you had a
We've
social
already
benefit fund.
There's £1,000
Yeah.
sitting there waiting to be spent.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I propose Phil. Anyone want to second me? Thank you, Dave. What would you like to say?
I would just like to say that I've got to pick the stuff up for Richard. He was busy. And I forgot. But it's all the strimmers and that, Phil. I don't know if you wanted to collect them from Phil when I collect the gates, or do you want me to collect all of it in the trailer?
But let me know when you're picking it up.
Okay, that's fine. Yes.
Right. Sorry, can we vote again? Sorry. Do you want to say something about it?
Yeah, just to clarify of what the farmers have got to do and what else they've got to do. We have got, if there's grass, we don't have to do nothing.
Yeah.
If there's crops, like I put the motorway down through mine, you can have a maze run through the maze if you want to, and long as we do not put bars and stuff across gateways, whatever, then it's for the footpath, which is no ask because the councils have stopped doing it. But anyway, that just clarify that.
Yeah.
But on my footpaths, any problems, don't let it fester. Just give me a shout. And I apologise if I ain't done very much very quick.
No, somebody brought it up on Facebook the other day, not about yours, about somebody else's, and it was done straight away.
Thank you.
That's not a problem. Okay, can we just vote on Phil becoming thank you, unanimous? It would be, wouldn't it? Agreement whether to seek general contractors to fix ad hoc problems, keep pathways clear in order to be able to implement remedial action without delay. This is sort of a joint thing from Sally and I. Do you want to explain it, Sal?
Well, it seems like, like the bus shelter. If we haven't necessarily got volunteers or handymen, etc., if we've got jobs that need to be done, or handy woman, whatever, handy person. If we've got jobs that need to be done, could we put a post on Facebook, this is just an example, requesting if there's any volunteers in the village,
parish,
in the parish that would like to come forward, contractors, either voluntary or paid, depending on, obviously we've got to decide how we're going to go about that. But I just wondered if it was worth putting a post on Facebook to just ask if there's any contractors in the village that would be interested in helping us out, just to see what's out there.
Just put the feelers out to begin with.
subcontractors seem a big word for a big thing.
No, I think odd job.
You
now.
got it,
Yeah.
or people, skilled
Yeah.
electricians, plumbers, whatever,
Like
whatever.
do the roof and the bus
Yeah,
shelter.
that's fine. Yeah,
Something like that.
that's
So
fine.
you happy for that to go
Yep,
out?
yep.
Yep. Do you want to propose?
I propose it.
Our second vote? Yep, unanimous. Right, village scene. Consider whether BBPC should exercise a right of reply via alternative communication channels if statements regarding the PC are incorrect or have not been endorsed by the BBPC. Do you want to set this one off? I didn't think you would. Sometimes there are some errors that have been noted in the village scene. And obviously, like any good media, the parish council should have a right to reply. Obviously, our right to reply can't go into the village scene. So basically what Sally and I were thinking was that on our website we could have a right to reply if something wasn't quite right. That was basically it. Pardon for clarification.
And as a council, we have to be impartial as well, don't we?
Yeah.
You've got to be careful when you're talking about freedom of the press and all the rest of it. You've got a right of reply without this. You want to be careful with your wording.
Absolutely, but I think that would have to come to council, George. But if there is something that has gone into that village scene that isn't quite...
Being put there by someone, whatever.
Yeah, and it has to be clarified. I mean, there was an incident in the village scene, nothing to do with the parish council, and I think it had been done tongue-in-cheek, but it was portraying people's houses, and they hadn't given even permission for their houses to be photographed, and actually somebody really did take umbrage about it, because even though it was a joke to the person putting in the village scene, that person didn't see it. It was their house, and they'd put a lot of work into that house, and it seemed that it was mocking. So those are the sorts of things, if it happened on the parish council, coming back to the parish council, I'm not talking about that, that we have a right to reply on our website or on Facebook to say, just to clarify, in the village scene dated, that isn't endorsed. That's not endorsed by us as the parish council.
We got a right of reply anyway without this audit, but if you want to put it in writing, fine, yeah. You got a right of reply, whatever.
Yeah. Well, it needs to be okayed by the council, though.
Fair enough.
Otherwise, the wording could get... Okay, is everybody happy with that? Yes. Proposing, second, anyone?
Yes.
Yeah, fine. Are you voting on this one, George? Yeah. Lovely, thank you. Right, thank you. Adult play equipment, antisocial behaviour by children, including spitting on the equipment, has been reported. This was reported to me, and it's been reported to you as well, Kath, hasn't it? Yeah. A member of the public went down to use it. He saw children on there spitting, and I've been down with Phil, and the signs. Well, I would have to get a magnifying glass out to read it. And it also states children, and then you've got to try and identify, then it says you've got to be above 4'6". So, I think it does need a couple of signs down there, bigger, just sort of saying this is not for anybody under age 16 or something. I don't know what age it is.
I'll put the school as well.
Yeah, lovely, thank you.
Okay,
yeah, thanks.
They haven't beaten it up.
No, they haven't beaten it up.
No, it's adult play equipment. That's the trouble with it. It's
is.
Adult play equipment. If that's all the kids do in vandalism, I know it's a horrible thing, whatever.
I agree with you. But it is.
There's some stuff that even Joyce says the ladies can't pump and whatever, whether adjustments or whatever. I mean, if you're going to try and keep kids off, kids, children, whatever.
I absolutely agree.
You don't want to.
I think
you don't want a big stick.
I think I agree.
And signs, fair enough, but
just signs that just say anybody under the age of 16.
Well, I wouldn't know. You've got to lower it than that. It's height. I think it's to do with height.
It's 4'7", but you can have very tall 12-year-olds, can't you?
Yeah, my grandson's tall.
Well, that's not hard though, is it?
But if you try and keep the children off and say anybody under 16 can't go here, you're going to have more problems than...
We'll probably have mutiny. All right, well, what sort of wording shall we stick on there then?
Oh, yeah, well,
Please don't spit on this.
no, we just use it properly. He's just using it.
Please be
we'll
respectful.
use it.
Please be respectful of the equipment.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And other people,
And
please
other
be respectful of the equipment and users.
people, yeah.
How much do the signs cost, Joe? No?
No, that'll be.
So we can get a sign with, please respect this
Yeah,
equipment?
you
or
can get bespoke signs quite
And
reasonably.
if you look at it and you compare it with the ones similar in Bideford, ours is a lot better. Looks really good.
Yeah. Probably in the wrong place though, because the more children go down to that.
But the ones in Bideford, they use for with under 12s and under 8s. So it's what you can physically do with it. That's the problem. It's brilliant down there for adults. But once you're above 80, you wouldn't be one of using it. Or the gentleman there, I don't know. But
do we just need one sign, don't we?
Yeah,
Right, I propose one sign
one
to be
sign,
placed
yeah.
down there. Anyone want to second me and vote? Thank you. Let's move on. New website, progress report, provision launch, timescale. Right, so we all know we're going to get a new website. I went down with Joe to speak to John, who is doing it for us. I'll get Joe to send out what's happened so far. You log in and you will see what the website will look like as it's being sort of prepared. John is going to hopefully launch our new website in the first week of September, but I've asked that councillors get to see it before that. So if there's something about it that when you look at the website you think, well, actually we could have that on, he'll quite happily put it on there for you. Are you guys listening to me or not?
Yes.
What did I just say?
Sorry.
No, they don't even know what I'm saying.
Sorry, Mum, you got me.
Right, so you'll let people...
We're paying attention, Chair.
Thank you. So you'll get to see it a week before. John will then come to the meeting here in September and he will announce to the public exactly, that it's being launched, how it all works, and it's going to be a lot more, sort of user-friendly. Plus, it will have the YouTube already on there, so people can just go straight onto our website and look at the YouTube. It will also talk to our Facebook page, so anything that goes onto Facebook will come onto the website and vice versa.
If any other organisations want to put things on the website, I guess they have to come to Joe, won't it?
Joe will be the person that will control that, but John is going to be in the background all the time.
Okay.
Yes, Joe, is that right?
There will be some information to go out to everybody, to all the organisations, so that they can send things in a similar format each time. And then that will make life very simple because it will just go straight onto the website without any kind of modification.
The councillors can now have that email with the password, can't they, to go in there and have a look, just a little nosy.
Yes.
So I'll get that sent out to, or I'll forward it all on to you. George, are you listening? I'll send it out to you so you can have a little look at the website and just have a little click around. It's not live yet, but you can have a little look and see if there's anything you would like changed. You could have farming news or something.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
How do I get on? Normal?
She's going to send
I'll
it.
send you the link.
I'll
send you a link on an email.
On the Parish Council website?
No, I will send you a link on the email which you click on.
Which email are you using? Or
Parish Council
yeah,
one.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Your
Right.
Parish
Thank you.
Council one.
And all I got to do is click, isn't it?
You'll click and put a password in, and it'll take you straight into our new website.
What password am I using?
I will send you it in an
Oh,
email, because if I
thank
tell
you.
you that, they might all try and have a look as well.
Fine. So yeah, no, I quite agree. Yeah, fine.
Yeah, I will
Fine.
send it all. I'll do it as soon as I get home.
Very simple, please.
It'll be fine.
All right?
It'll be fine.
Okay, is everyone fine with that? Right, request received from Pierce Construction to propose a name for a new road adjacent to Lower Abbots. Agreement of the name to be submitted for consideration. And that's over to Dave and George on this one, because I'm sure they know what it was called or whatever before.
Lower Abbots.
Why do they want
Yeah.
another name?
Yeah.
Just to confuse everyone that's coming
Exactly.
to the village.
I
That's
thought
fine.
it was the road off Lower Abbots.
It's
Yeah,
below.
yeah.
But that road goes through Lower
Yeah.
Abbots, doesn't it?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
this is a new road.
It's behind.
What? There's another road going off it, is it? Yeah, I know, but sorry. The
Yes,
road
Mr.
goes
Gert.
through Hill Park,
Lower
down
Abbots.
through Lower Abbots, and down through the same road.
Yeah.
So why can't we call it, the houses will be numbered, why can't it stick with Lower Abbots? Sorry.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
The problem you have is that the previous names were based on field names,
Yes, I know.
which, yeah, but if you've got a separate road, you're trying to use the same field name more than once.
So Lower Abbots was the name of that field.
A field, which is quite a bit of what they built on now.
So that extra bit, is that called something else?
I have no idea.
Right.
No, that's exactly what I...
Previous ones of the time now.
Oh, okay, good point. Yeah.
I don't think it's
another
field. I think it's all part of Lower Abbots.
I think it probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lower Abbots Close, like Phil said. Yeah.
Lower Abbots Close?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine with me.
What about Ross Abbott? Okay, so are we, sorry. Are we proposing Lower Abbots?
Lower Abbots Close.
Close.
Lower Abbots Close.
Joe, Lower Abbots Close. Who's proposing that?
Yeah.
Oh, and you're seconding. Okay, all right, vote. Yep, unanimous. Thank you. Audit update. The audit went in. There has been absolutely no problems with the audit, Joe, has there? So it's come back out and it will go to the external audit now? Yeah. So do you want to just give a quick update on that?
Well, yeah, the next step is send it to the external auditors. We're late with that because the audit was delayed. But all the information will be posted to the website in the next couple of days as well, so people can have a look at the figures as well.
Lovely, thanks, Joe. Any questions on that? George? We're all looking at George. No? No?
Don't think so. I haven't studied it, but yeah, no.
Yeah? You'll see it when it comes out. You'll see it.
Okay.
I think we're going to have to defer 280, aren't we?
Sorry, can I just say,
Oh.
does that refer to the correspondence thing?
Correspondence, yeah.
Is that what you're talking about, that audit, number 9?
Yeah.
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 All right. Yeah, you got Jane Lowe's letter
Yeah.
on that one there.
Yeah.
I just will say that 1 or 2 parish councillors once a year or once or whatever is supposed to see the bank statements by
Yeah.
law.
Yeah.
So is that being done with all due respect to everything else?
Yes, it is being done.
And who's seeing what? When?
Joe?
Do-
You have the right to reply on that.
Well, you can all have the bank statements anytime you like.
All I can tell you legally, if anything goes wrong, we're liable.
Yeah,
That's
I've
it.
looked at the bank statements
Fine.
because I've requested to see them. Anybody can request them at any time.
Okay, well, if I can see them next, can you, have you got to see them, this is I'm not sure of, do you see them at a parish council meeting or do you go privately, or do you get them sent?
Joe showed me them here. I've
Oh,
requested
fine.
to see them and I've looked at them here.
Fine.
So if you want to request them, I would just send an email to say, can I look at the bank statements?
Fine,
And
when-
are they on the
Yeah,
computer
you've just
or
seen it,
paper?
so-
It comes in paper. Paper, okay.
You've just seen it, or 2 or 3 months ago? I mean, now,
I
6
saw
months,
one last month
oh,
and I saw the one
5
last
months'
month.
time, I'll ask to see it, yeah? 5 months' time, I'll ask to see it then.
5 months' time, yeah?
Well, whatever,
Yeah.
You don't need to see it every month, it's just
No,
fine.
no.
Thank you. I'm just complying with the law.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And we have been complying with the law because I've been looking at them. Members' reports. Please make it quick.
Started with me.
Oh, let's start with Dave. I'm going to give you some breath.
I just want to kind of, whether we can find out what's happening with the kind of the suggestions of the passing places down Orley Hill. And I know because the money was from the 106 was going in for that, just where we're at with that, whether we're probably waiting for Devon to do anything, but just to see where that's happening.
Oh, sorry. I'm just saying about deferring 280.
Oh, yeah, you said.
Because that was Trevor Mills. Yeah.
George, probably. George, about the rag work.
Sorry.
Do you want to answer about the rag work?
Yeah, I will when it comes to me.
Okay, we can do it on members' reports.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay, so that whether we can find out what's happening with that. Okay, couple other things. On one of the dog emails, it talks about the AGM, which will be in October. We'll have to think about that, because I think they'll start looking for bookings. That now I've usually gone, and I've usually been the one who does the voting, but we can. I don't know. You know, we can. Other people can go as well, or I don't go. I don't know. It's always down the Exeter Racecourse.
Oh,
You get, and actually, it's quite good. Because you went, Joe, didn't you, with me? And because you've got Torridge Council people there, you've got various other people, and you can talk to, and there's always got displays on insurances and things like that. So it is actually quite good, and there's always some talks which are quite good. Devon County Council and that, and things like that. So we'll have to start thinking about that, I think, at one stage, because obviously you've got to pay to go.
Okay, lovely.
All right.
Thanks, Dave. Kath?
No, hang on.
Sorry.
No, I haven't finished yet. Just to let you know, we've been, Joyce was talking about young people's activity. Was it last year? Yeah, I lose track of time. But we did, because we have got some money. We've got quite a bit of money that we've been putting together to kind of for a youth club or whatever people want. What we did was we had some youth workers from Torrington come out, and they tried to talk to people, the young people, and I think they were at the last year's fete, not this year's, year before. And yes, one of the things that they were talking about was kind of wanting things to do with sport, okay, football and all those type of things. The trouble was, the ones they saw were the ones out on the amenity field playing football. So all the other young people, we could not get close to kind of talking and gaining their views of what, because you don't see a lot of people around. So the ones who were out playing, they saw, and they got their views. The other kind of youngsters, we didn't come. We had several events, and nobody turned up. Because what there was before was we had a detached youth worker would come and do things here for like 14, 15 years. And that all started because there was some antisocial behaviour, and that kind of put a stop to that. Mm-hmm. And the previous parish, previous parish council put quite a lot of money towards that. It was run through the Methodist circuit, and we employed them. And they actually, when they were doing things here, it was just a drop-in. It wasn't a youth club, it was a drop-in. They dealt with a lot of difficult issues that just parents doing it like a old youth club would struggle with, because there was lots of things that they were dealing with. So we still kind of thinking, what are we going to do? How do we kind of reach out to kind of the young people and see what they want to do? And I know there is things about you about kind of sport. Down at the fete this year, there's somebody kind of started playing football with the kids, and that was fine. Yeah. But it's who's going to do it? Who's going to do all the kind of all the kind of rigmarole, all the DBS checks, all the other things.
That's the trouble, isn't it?
That's the trouble. Yeah, I mean, if it was,
It's not like 30, 40 years ago where you didn't have to have DBS
it's
checks.
not. It's a lot to do. I mean, you're.
You said perhaps get the school involved or something.
Well, yeah, but they can't. But they can't. They can't run it because
It's the older children you need to get, isn't it?
It's the older kids.
Yeah.
You can't do
Still got to
youth
be
clubs.
DBS checked.
They don't work, not more. So
Okay.
it's something to think about,
Yeah.
and I think maybe what I will do at some stage is to kind of get people together. But every time I organise somebody to get together, nobody comes. So there you go.
And that's exactly our problem, isn't
That's
it?
the problem,
I know
yeah.
Joyce was saying earlier, but you try getting people to get involved.
I think they're going to end up doing something,
Yeah,
which is true.
precisely. I know. And it is the same people that come out every time.
I cannot do it. I'm getting too old for all this.
Well, that's your... See, this is the trouble. The excuses that come out are just wrong.
That's the end.
I've only had one really. I had a parishioner. I reported it to Joe regarding the turf that was down at the, and that was it. But other than that, then nothing.
That's in Northwood Lane and in Back Lane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Two places turf has been dumped. Turf down,
It's all
yeah.
just been dumped there.
Field committee, we've decided on the 5th of October for an inspection date. Was rather hoping that Trevor would be here to chip in if that date was all right, but if he's not, we'll just have to crack on, won't we? So if Joe could put out a letter to the tenants that they will have their fields inspected on the 5th of October, please.
They've got a month's notice.
Yeah.
Nothing from me.
I just had a parishioner, just wanted an update on Finnell Head Moor, Joe. I didn't know whether that would have come in correspondence, because I know that it's about Natural England, wasn't it? Because we were talking about stones and
Yes.
parking. We didn't bring it up.
No. I don't know what's gone wrong. We've
Can-
gone wrong here.
Can you just update us on that? 'Cause I know there was
I've got an update that came in since the agenda was set, so
Yeah.
I will send it round to the council. I didn't want to confuse the issue for this meeting, but it will be on the next meeting agenda.
Okay, thank you. That was all, really.
Me?
You?
Yeah. My wife on her small farm, and on the farm we've had the government under these SFI schemes are giving free advice up until December this year when it ends for SFI for single farm and the replacement single farm payment, all these new schemes, environmental schemes and all the rest of it. And the people we've had with Brown & Co, and they were very, very good, absolutely exceptional, whatever. And I would suggest that Thornleigh Moor could produce a lot more money for this parish council. And it is available through government schemes, wild bird, whatever is up there, whatever. They will come down on the date that we want, take the whole parish council around or whatever, look at it, and come up with a scheme that can give us government money on top of everything else. Also, what is really interesting is this carbon sequestration. Now, there's lots of trees grown wild and all the rest of it up there, and I do consider that potentially it can produce a lot of money for the parish council. And I think if we go through a government scheme, they will look more favourably on us rather than Hicks and Co aren't signed up for it, or they didn't, or whatever. I've got no idea. I've approached them and said, this is what I'm proposing. And I think we need, as a landowner, whatever you've got, if you're in agriculture and that, then you will get looked at more favourably the schemes you're doing. But it's above my pay grade. They will come and do a full scheme, won't cost us 1 penny. So I'll just give you the leaflets or whatever. And I would like to propose that there are other firms, Strutton Parker, whatever, but they are going to charge an arm and a leg for anything else they do on this. But all I can say, the gentleman, he came down on both occasions to us, to Bowden and to Joyce's a little bit, and he was absolutely top drawer. So it's up to the Parish Council whether you want to take this further or not. I've informed RH Hicks & Co, and then they can just give advice in RH Hicks & Co. We're not going to cut them out if not wanted or whatever. It's up to the Parish Council what they want. But I would suggest very strongly you take this up before the scheme ends. Now, it's with monthly meetings, December is soon going to come around.
We possibly might be having another meeting at the end of this month, are we not?
What I was hoping, Madam Chair, do apologise, is we could come to a decision today and I could bring them up and say, go or no.
We can't do that unless it's on an agenda.
You risk losing it all.
Right. Joe, can we look into this?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have a meeting. If you're going to have a meeting on the 22nd, we can have it on the agenda then. It's only a couple of weeks away.
Yeah, well, I'm leaving it to you guys, but yes.
Yep. Can we put that on the agenda for the 22nd? That's only 2 weeks, George.
That's fine.
And then we'll have it on the agenda, we'll vote for it, and then get it sorted.
Yeah. So the only if you go with getting free government money, then there's the 3 Strutton Parker, these. Oh God, my brain. One of them, but I would strongly. This guy.
Well, that would give us time, wouldn't it?
Sabos.
Yeah.
So it's up to you guys.
That'll give us time because we've got September, October, November. Yeah.
Do I go on?
Yeah, carry on.
Thank you. You're right.
Ragwort.
Oh yes, ragwort. Yes. Ragwort is an absolute deadly. And don't tell me I know I got some stuff sticking up through. I got edge trimmer coming over it, but it is an actually deadly plant. Animals or even humans. If you got to have to pull it, you got to have gloves on. It come up in rashes and all the rest of it. Do not start chewing this stuff. Would certainly be doolally up there. But
yeah, I know.
Yeah. I'm not saying people with their own property could do what they want, but if it's on Thornleigh Moor, then we can use Thornleigh Moor money to pull that area up there.
What about if it's on the roadside?
If it's up at Thornleigh Moor?
No, say in the parish.
Well, the owner of the piece of ground it's on is their decision. Right. But I would strongly suggest that they're asked to pull it, because even if it sheds, the problem is when the seed sheds and then it's eaten as it dries out. That's a serious problem. And if a kid, while it's growing, scratches it, you can come up with some serious rashes.
So would it be beneficial to put something on our website and on Facebook?
Be brilliant.
Yeah. Joan?
And
thank you.
I know the finger's going to point at me on my ages, but I'm doing my best. It's just exploded again, absolutely exploded everywhere again.
Yeah, I've seen it all over the place.
Whatever.
Sorry, Keith, do you want to say something? Yeah, on the bank, yeah.
I was talking to Richard about it. He said that the resident doesn't want it touched, doesn't want any of the Verge touched.
That's fine, but maybe I'll have a word.
My understanding is it's one of the 5 notifiable weeds.
Is it? It is, yeah.
It really is.
But if you go to Arsenal, a lot on the side of the road.
The other bit that Trevor's going to mention is Mr. Cole's up the bounce up on the corner there, and I had to get the vet, not the bat, to 2 of his brothers.
Right. I think we need to send out some...
But that's been dealt with, isn't it?
That has been dealt with. I think
Sorry,
we need...
just clarity. That only applies to large landowners. I did look into this, and if it's in private gardens, it's not applicable to that. It's only if you're covered by sort of DEFRA.
Yes, Clive, sorry.
People might like to be aware of it.
Yeah.
It is in their garden.
Yeah.
Go in the village, see, you can go on Facebook.
Precisely.
If it is a
Yeah.
farmers, then it is
Yeah.
actually a problem.
I think it's sending something out there that hopefully, 'cause some people might not even be aware that it's poisonous, but on, you know.
The gentleman there, I would say, I mean, there's horses gone past that virtually every day.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Not very kind of him to leave it.
No, maybe he doesn't know. So let's try and educate people.
Effects.
Do you want to do a little article for the...
Sorry?
Do you want to do a nice little article about it?
Right.
Or you can find quite a lot on Facebook and share it, actually.
I know, I just want to see you squirm.
I squirm, yeah. It actually is serious for dogs as well. You know,
yeah, that's fair enough, George,
yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, and just one other thing on footpaths, whatever. I've had a few lambs this year. People are really good with dogs and whatever, but I've had a few completely rejected. There is a worm that you need expensive worming tablets for. If they get into a lamb, the whole thing's chucked out because the worm can go into the liver and the lights and into the meat, and if it gets into a meat and is eaten by humans, it can cause serious problems. So I would just like to ask old dog people, they do, I know, probably, but get the best worming tablets and please make sure it carries on because it can be of a disastrous effect. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much, George. Thank you for giving us that on the ragwort as well. Okay. We haven't got the district councillor here. New planning applications, a retrospective application for erection of stables and change of use of land from agricultural to equestrian use. Has everyone looked at this? I think it's already built, to be honest.
It's down at, yeah.
No.
No problem.
Okay.
No
Show of
problem.
hands. Thank you. Unanimous. Accounts, Joe. We're getting there, folks.
It's a lot.
More for you.
Okay. General funds. We've got £38,454.58 in the cash book balance. The bank balance is £29,148.78. The reason why there is quite a big uplift to the cash book balance for a change, and it's not a minus figure in the unreconciled, is because we've just had the VAT refund for the previous year, and that was over £5,000. So that has helped enormously. So the closing fund balance, including savings rather, is just over 40,000 in general funds. Obviously, we've got quite a lot still to come out of that in the coming months. Restricted funds, inclusive of savings, £39,540.28. There is some work that's going to be done on Thornhill Headmore to clear ragwort, as has been mentioned, and some fencing. And also, just to let everyone know, there's also some work being carried out by Cellnex in that compound on Thornhill Headmore. That's at their expense, not ours, but it will be
When's
cleared.
that going ahead?
Pardon?
Is that happening?
When?
When?
I don't know the exact date
Oh,
yet.
right.
They've just called to say, can they have access? So payments that have gone out since the last meeting total £1,598.30, mainly payroll, but there were the bills for grass cutting, the audit fee, the battery and charger that was ordered for the vehicle sign, and then just the regular bills, allotment water and the electricity bills. And since the last meeting, we've had £6,328 in, and bulk of that was VAT and the field and allotment rents. The figures are a little bit skewed because there's a transfer between, from Thornhill Headmore to the general account, £622.99. That was reversing the cheque that had to be paid out of the general fund because we didn't have any cheques left. So that has been done to resolve it and put the balances back as they should.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Can I just ask, Chair?
Yep.
How much was the audit fee? How much was the audit fee?
160 for the internal audit, and we'll have another 600 or so for the external audit. Don't know the exact figure yet, but I'm expecting between 600 and 650.
And when the graziers due for payment, and when were they paid last or whatever? Is that
The graziers won't be paid until next March.
Next March. So they've been paid out now.
Yeah, they've been paid.
Fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thorno had more money. I think at one stage we used to kind of take some money from there to cover your costs for your work that's done for
yeah, that's
the
been
Thorno
discussed
one.
before, and I think that's what you're doing, isn't it not?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I haven't spent any time on Thornhill Headmore at all. The only thing I've done is paid 2 invoices, I think. I did the graziers checks, and that's about it. So I can put in for an hour or something like that, but it's negligible.
I think you should, because you know it's kind of the money's there to cover for the expenses, and if your time is part of that expenses.
Yeah. What I do is I keep a total anyway, and what I was thinking of doing is just making one lump sum payment at the end of the year, because rather than doing it piecemeal.
That's fine.
But yeah, I do record it.
And so can I ask, tenants on parish council land, are they due for payment in September? And are they due every 6 months, 12 months? What's happening?
No, it's different times of the year.
Yeah, fine. So
Yeah, but they're getting paid. Joe is sending out paper bills.
they're sending out paper bills, but yeah. So
I spoke to one of them the other day.
and yeah, so there's no like Michaelmas and Mark, right? Okay, thank you.
Depends on the tenancy, I think.
Yeah.
On the tenancy.
George was asking if they've gone, but they're paid at all different times, aren't they?
Yeah,
They
it
pay-
depends when their contracts were signed.
Yeah.
They've all got different dates.
All different times. Thank you.
Authorisation of outstanding payments? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Yes? Yeah. Thank you. Pardon?
There wasn't many, was there?
Right. Just before we finish, I'd just like to apologise to everybody who's watching and to the people here for what has gone on tonight. It wasn't very professional. I don't agree with people storming out parish council meetings, I'm afraid. That's just... But also in the same vein, we have to respect, we have a clerk here who is our employee, and I don't expect her to, obviously a lot of people don't see that, but she does take a lot of abuse, and I don't think that that's really on. But I do want to apologise for people having to witness that tonight, as I didn't feel it was very professional of the parish council. Does anyone want to say anything?
Yes, I do. I don't know who you're referring to.
No, I wasn't. I was talking in general.
Never mind that. We're allowed to bring up points at all times, and I wasn't any abusive or whatever.
George,
but you just said that we're all with it, and we're elected parish councillors to do the best for our parishioners.
I
Thank
agree,
you.
but I don't agree with the clerk's wages being talked about continually. I just don't think that's...
I'm sorry. If we don't get the answers, whatever, I'd just like to know what he's on, so it's freedom of information and to let the parishioners know where the money goes. Full stop.
But her wages are there for everybody to see. Yeah. I don't like people feeling humiliated in public, that's all.
That goes both ways.
Oh, George, do you always have to have that last word?
Take it after you, ma'am.
You still got it. Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you.